Another sky has been said about Japanese making songs. How right are they if we've only got one and yet it's always new? This begs the question, how many atoms are its origin in? So in cosmology there's stars. One star has so much of a magnetosphere that any atom it comes in contact with, meaning within its radius of like a few hundred football fields, because stars are that prominent, that outside of them, their magnetosphere is a thing that's invisible. Oh, it's like magnetic strips. They pull out and pull in. And if you don't know what a magnetic shape is, I guess you're hard pressed to understand it. Magnetar. But no, that's the main point in case is that at any point in time, what's part of them and what isn't is solely based on their magnetosphere, because any atom gets locked into that radius and all of a sudden its electrons are in the same motion as the magnetar. And this is huge because electron orbitals are classically P-shaped, W-shaped. When I say P and W, I mean like there's a specific cloud that they are in, and they're usually like oh, you know what a cloud is. So a cloud isn't always in a ellipsoid, but this magnetar, its electrons are. So once the atoms inside the magnetar's radius hit it, it then imitates, like a clone's DNA to another, its electron dynamic, its shape into the magnetars. And I was speaking on this earlier, what would be the, if a virus was an inferno over the entire planet at its peak, because it replicates itself, it would have this like shape, a dynamic, the same as a lightning bolt at its most magnificent timing, where it's its biggest. All of the, I would call it coding, like a magnetic strip. It's got a certain code built into it, but a lightning bolt at its biggest peak, it would have like a certain coding of electrons. If you took a freeze frame picture of it, which that's what a magnetic strip is. And I was thinking the equivalence of like the virus inferno and a lightning bolt at its biggest point are these just codes. And so it's really interesting that you can add to those to the magnetar with its atoms anywhere around it, it becomes it, because those electrons are hitting into the nucleus and any other atom in nature's atoms. Sorry, the camera caught out. So I was explaining how a giant thunderbolt, if you take a snapshot picture of it, its electron configuration, to the atoms it's near. I'm guessing there's more electrons than atoms because it gathers free-flowing ones. So, but it has a specific coding. If you're to draw down every single electron in a snapshot picture of it, feels that's its biggest. And I thought that that had a resemblance to the dynamic of bending the curve if viruses that replicate themselves had the most at its magnitude, meaning the most treacherous, where it's boldest during everyone getting it. That would have a specific code. And I was trying to add on an addition to a magnetar, where its atoms are the only ones in the whole universe where the electron, by coming into its radius of the magnetar star, would have electrons hitting into the nucleus and making a ellipsoidal that mimics the ellipsoidal of the magnetar, as opposed to cloud-like structures of electrons that are not elliptoidal.